Welcome to the seedy side. On this channel, we explore the parts of the world society pretends not to see. When exhaustion meets ambition, chemistry takes over. Every city has its trade in desire. Some sell attention, others affection. But deeper in the shadows, the night trades something stronger. Here, chemistry replaces intimacy, and the exchange runs silent through every class and corridor. This is the other current that powers the hidden economy, the trade and escape. The pull is universal. Escape, euphoria, endurance. For participants, it's a break from the noise. For suppliers, it's a business that never sleeps. From medications to more exotic substances, every compound sold after dark is part of a chain stretching from labs and farms to alley corners and phone screens. But the draw isn't always rebellion or indulgence. Sometimes it's productivity. Across the world, entire industries quietly run on chemistry meant to sharpen focus, extend shifts, or suppress exhaustion. In logistics hubs, long-haul drivers rely on stimulants to stay awake. In tech sectors and universities, performance enhancers have become the new form of coffee. Unspoken, but everywhere. In Southeast Asia alone, this pattern fuels billions in informal labor output, particularly in Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos, where a regional stimulant known locally as yaba keeps overnight workers moving. No global agency puts an exact figure on it, but regional studies suggest these substances indirectly sustain up to 1 to 1.5% of regional GDP through informal productivity. In wealthier nations, the same logic wears a cleaner label. Prescription stimulants meant for attention disorders are quietly repurposed by students and professionals chasing the same edge. Economists call it enhanced productivity. Doctors call it dependence. Either way, it's profitable. Some studies estimate that cognitive enhancers contribute the equivalent of tens of billions of dollars in temporary output to the U.S. economy each year. Globally, the illicit substance economy is worth between $400 and $600 billion a year, roughly 1% of global GDP. In the United States alone, this unregulated network moves around $150 billion annually, about the same as the entire legal alcohol industry. But where there is profit, there is force. In Latin America, entire towns depend on cultivation for survival, even as it fuels instability. Violence linked to the trade has taken tens of thousands of lives each year, much of it tied to supply corridors feeding consumer demand across borders. Untracked funds bleed into legitimate sectors: construction, real estate, and nightlife. And the International Monetary Fund estimates that up to 5% of global GDP is cycled through illicit channels, much of it linked to these substances. At the personal level, the line between recreation and reliance is thin. The World Health Organization reports that nearly 40 million people worldwide live with health issues tied to sustained use, yet fewer than 1 in 5 receive treatment. And still, demand grows. Not out of rebellion, but out of rhythm. Modern life rewards endurance, and chemistry promises to stretch the body in service of productivity, pleasure, or simply escape. So why does society look away? Because the illicit dollar doesn't disappear. It circulates. It pays rent, funds imports, supports rural economies, and quietly moves through city nightlife. Governments collect billions in taxes from the same substances they once criminalized. The states that waged policy campaigns against the trade now profit from its regulation. Banks, insurers, and investors benefit indirectly as capital cleansing re-enters legitimate markets. The system tolerates the contradiction because it keeps the wheel turning. This hidden market sits at the fault line between survival and profit, an economy of demand that no nation has ever truly dismantled. It flows through every port, nightclub, and boardroom, disguised as something else. And as long as people seek escape, there will always be someone ready to supply it. The night doesn't just hide the trade, it depends on it. Every city tells two stories, one in daylight and one after dark. The daylight city is measured: taxes, salaries, rules, respectability. The night city runs on something older: instinct, indulgence, survival. One operates in spreadsheets. The other moves in whispers and untracked funds. The shadow circuit doesn't compete with the daylight. It completes it. Each depends on the other like inhale and exhale. Every paycheck spent on release becomes someone else's rent, someone else's tip, someone else's escape. It's an ecosystem built on human need and maintained by collective silence. Governments call it unregulated. Corporations call it external. But economists know better. The off-ledger capital of the night keeps the daylight market stable. And though few admit it, the rhythm of survival keeps the pulse of modern economies alive. We can legislate, regulate, moralize. But as long as people chase comfort, status, and sensation, there will always be a market waiting to sell it. The forms may change, from clubs to screens, from cash to crypto, but the desire stays the same. What happens after midnight doesn't vanish with the sunrise. It lingers in bank accounts, in memories, in the quiet transactions we pretend not to notice. The hidden economy isn't separate from society. It is society stripped of its mask. Every light casts a shadow, and the deeper you look, the more you see. If you felt something tonight, curiosity, unease, fascination, don't turn away. Hit like, subscribe, come back, and we'll keep exploring the seedy side.